On today's episode, we had some ups at first, and then we had some downs. But more ups than downs, I swear. And then there's the random 8-foot crocheted owl and his equally unsettling yarn buddies taking over a small Portuguese town. Yes, this happened. So, sit back, relax, pour yourself a cafe con leche or an Aquarius, and join me as we hike today from Camino to Valença. That's right, folks. We're heading central.
Shell toucher.
Okay, Pilgrims. I'm leaving Camino right now, and I'm gonna head to
Valença.
I installed the GPX on my Gaia, and yeah, I'm just gonna follow that all the way there. No muss, no fuss. Seen a few.
Okay, before we move on, however, I'm going to show you how to drop a GPX file onto your phone. I know it sounds complicated, but trust me, it's super easy. And the only reason why I'm doing this is because all the popular Camino apps don't have how to get from Camino to Valença, Portugal, in case you change your mind like I did. So we're going to build our own, and I promise you, it's super easy. Just follow these instructions. Super duper easy. Step 1. Head over to the Apple App Store app and put the Gaia GPS app on your phone. Once the app is installed, head to stingynomads.com/Camina-Valença-stage-Portuguese-Camino. I'll also have a link below. Then scroll down slightly until you see just below the video, Camina to Valença Walk GPX. Click that to download. Once download is complete, head on over to the Gaia app. Let's spec this thing out. Okay, you want to open Maps in the lower left-hand corner, and then click Saved, which is in the lower right-hand corner, second from the last. Then click on the 3 dots in the upper right corner to open Action and Settings. Click Import File. You'll be taken to your phone's files. Depending on how many files you have in there, you might have to look for it, but when you find it, click on the Camino to Valença file. Once the import is complete, click on the map. Then click the 3 dots More button in the upper right-hand corner. Then click Show on Main Map. And that's it, Pilgrim. You're practically there. Use this as you would any Camino app, and this will get you there. Okay, let's get on with this.
It's about 5:30 a.m., folks. I'm crossing the bridge from Camino, heading to Central. Sorry I have to abandon you folks on the coast, but it wasn't for me. And that's okay. Again, this is a good sign. And looks like I'm to be greeted by the crucero. There it is, folks. See it typically at the beginning of towns, or crossroads. Great signage already. Things are already changing. Starting to see what looks to be an array of people getting closer to Spain.
As I hiked on, getting closer to Valença, the more today felt like the Camino. The everyday Camino bingo card classics really started to pop out and greet me. Cruceros, arroyos, yellow arrows, cobbles, fountains, tunnels, and in almost immediate high concentration. It was amazing. Less beach town, less tourist gloss. The landscape just shifted. Town centers felt quieter. Architecture became simpler and more lived in. Less flashy, richer in everyday culture. This, my friends, is Pilgrim territory. The coast was clearly now behind me, and the Camino was fully in charge.
Second Thursday across the tracks.
Tortilla. Like, comment, subscribe.
Okay, folks, we're leaving Texas. All my exes live in, I don't know. But, yeah, it's pretty sunny out. Can I just blind you?
Sir, how he mocks us.
Who's this sexy little Oreo?
You are.
Another Oreo. Oh, this is a first.
And then suddenly it seemed like I would be walking through someone's front door? Okay, not their front door, but definitely through someone's yard. While this Camino started to feel more familiar, it still held a few cards I'd not seen before. Sunflowers.
I will say something. I'll always say something. The eucalyptus forest here in Portugal, for some reason unknown to me, I can smell. It really pops out at me. We're in Spain. I don't really notice it. But here I do. Explain. This is so well marked today. I don't even need an app. Folks, I'm in such a better mood today. Not that I was in a bad mood yesterday or the day before or the day before that. I was in an interesting mood. But it is just 10, 20, this is what I'm talking about. This is the Camino vibes. Already getting it here. So, spiderweb. Another spiderweb. So, you know, spider webs, they're so Camino. But yeah, I think I made the right decision. So, sorry, was I holding that to my forehead? I apologize. I'm gonna keep trekking on. It's like beautiful though, check this out. Eucalyptus forest, eucalyptus leaves, morning sunshine coming through the trees. How do I do it? I don't know, I'm on fire. Something you don't see often, the bones of Navarreo.
At this point, you're probably wondering why I keep mentioning Oreos every time I zoom in on one of these tomb-like stone structures along the trail. First things first, it's Oreo, not Oreo cookie. An Oreo is a raised stone granary common in northern Portugal and Galicia, Spain. Built to store grain and produce, lifted off the ground to keep moisture out, designed to stop rodents and allow airflow. Many are hundreds of years old and protected by law today. You cannot demolish them or casually change how they look. Some are still used for storage, some are preserved as heritage, and some have been carefully adapted for new uses. I actually had the opportunity to stay in one on the Camino Portugués. They're not decoration, their history still standing, and the closer you get to Spain, you start to see them. Now, where was I? Oh yes, cruceros. Actually, let's cover them in a future episode. We got someplace to be.
Okay, Peregrinos, we're going deeper. Deeper underground.
I think. Or just stops here.
Goodbye, world. Now, to the caverns of Santiago.
This is anticlimactic.
I'm under a road.
But actually, it was quite the opposite of anticlimactic. In fact, it was climactic. And it was then I crossed the threshold into a land of crochet and yarn. As I stumbled into Villanova de Siviera, I had one of those travel moments that makes one stop and blink, and then stop and blink again. Life-size yarn creatures began appearing along the street, wrapped around poles, climbing trees, standing there as if it was totally normal. For a second, I wondered if the sun was getting to me, or maybe the beer from the night before was still having its way with me. I felt like an extra on some acid-induced 1970s kids show. Villa Nova de Siviera was certainly colorful, cheerful, and completely unexpected. As I walked close to the town, it became clear I was not alone. Others were stopping too, smiling, taking photos. No music, no fiesta, just a kind of joyful, silent celebration happening all at once. This is called Au Crochet sa Rue, or Crochet Takes to the Street. Every summer from July 5th through September, the town turns itself into an open-air textile gallery. Locals, volunteers, and artists work together to cover the streets, trees, railings, and buildings with oversized crocheted knitted art. The pieces are playful and contemporary, meant to be enjoyed right where you find them. This summer, the theme was Explosão de Cores, or Explosion of Colors. That explains the bold palette and whimsical figures, including full-size crocheted animals scattered around town. This isn't graffiti, and it's not random decoration. It's community art at its finest. Vila Nova de Siviera has promoted public art since the 1970s and hosts one of Portugal's oldest contemporary art biennials. Crochet was chosen because it was already part of everyday life here, a skill passed down through generations, usually practiced indoors, where no one can see you, now shared with everybody. Anyone can contribute a small piece. Thousands of small efforts make one shared experience. Grandparents teach children, and neighbors work side by side. Walking the Camino, you expect history and quiet paths. Every now and then you also stumble into something that simply makes you smile. And check your drink to see if someone slipped you a Mickey. But before long, I was once again on my way. The way. I was immediately pulled back into the quirky textures and curious sights of the Camino I know and appreciate. All the micro-dramas and accidental comedy was my home. Every step and every new strike of my trekking pole was taking me closer to Valença. And soon, I was there.
I'm in a cafe, man.
That's right, folks. An Indian restaurant with a pilgrim menu.
Or a very clever shell toucher trap.
So, folks, we're going to go check out the old fort in Valença. And again, we are so close to Spain, and that means so close to tortilla. Taste it from here. Okay. Getting Pamplona vibes again.
Before Valença was a shopping stop, it was a front line. The Camino passes directly through Fortaleza de Valença. By this point, the central route was already proving far more epic than the literal way along the coast. Built in the 1600s, this fortress was designed to defend Portugal from Spain. Thick stone walls, star-shaped bastions, built to absorb cannon fire and control the Minho River below. Across the water sits Tui, close enough to understand exactly why this place mattered. What makes Valença different from the other forts I've seen this far? Is it never emptied out. People stayed and life moved in, linens and all. Today, the entire historic center lives inside the walls. Homes, churches, cafes, and shops. Lots of shops. As you walk the ramparts and drop into the streets, history slowly gives way to commerce. Lunch menus outside restaurants, courtyards full of conversation, and then the towels. So many towels.
Nobody needs this many towels.
Stacked high, hung wide, folded, draped, and proudly displayed like art. Every color, every pattern. A former military stronghold now famous for bath linens.
Like, I wonder how that went down. Like, someone had the idea of, like, I'll open up a towel store. Fill that void. And then...
That contrast is the magic of Valença. A place built for war
Give us your coats.
that now sells comfort. Walls meant to keep people out, now pulling visitors and tourists in. Cannons replaced by tablecloths and towels. Again, lots of towels.
There are way too many towels being sold here. Like, look at, there's even a fancy towel store behind
Camino
me.
does that. It takes you from conflict to coffee, from fortresses to details you never saw coming. Needless to say, realizing I would be walking again through this fortress at sunrise tomorrow had me excited for what was next. But even for all that, I still have the Camino Curry Challenge to get to. Let's go.
So, well, I won't be buying any towels today. I will be doing my curry challenge in just a few minutes. In fact, let's ditch this place and go get some curry. I mean, it's historical, but towels just left a bad taste in my mouth. Terry cloth.
And soon I had a new taste in my mouth. Folks, the Indian Tandoori Restaurante in Valença is something else. I highly recommend you take advantage of their pilgrim menu. This never happens at Indian restaurants in Spain and Portugal. Truly, something special in a great way to end a most epic day. Until next time. If you enjoyed today's show, please like, comment, and subscribe.
One Camino. Down the old stone way, side by side.